What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my fish garage. Wanted to shoot a quick video. Actually going to probably make this a couple parts here, but as you can see, the Parachromis multifasciatus, formerly known as Parachromis frederickstalii, also commonly referred to more recently as the yellow jacket cichlid, they have spawned again. So if you've been around for a while, and if you've seen some of my other videos, you have seen that these guys were really prolific spawners, and I had them in their own tank where they would spawn basically every 2 weeks. And it got to the point where I just couldn't handle any more fry. I just ran out of space, quite frankly, and I had to put them back in the community tank in order to slow down some of the spawning, which did work quite a bit. This is their first spawn since probably Christmas, and this is now in August of the following year. So it has been a while. She was way overdue. She was looking like she was almost becoming egg bound. So I was really happy to see them spawn. And what I'm gonna do with this video is I think I'm going to start here. Obviously, she laid these yesterday, so they are about 24 hours old. And I'm gonna check back in with them once they have hatched and become wigglers before I post this, because I want you guys to see how quickly this happens. It takes about 3 days for the most part. Now you can see some here that have molded over that just were not viable eggs, but it looks like for the most part, if he would get out of the way, because it just wants to focus on him, it looks like for the most part, most of the eggs are going to be viable and they will hatch. So probably today's Wednesday, so you're probably looking at Friday of this week before they become wigglers. Now, this is a community tank with lots of other big fish in it. So we have the Vieja, Synspilum, we have some Midas cichlids, we have Colcos. That name kills me every time. But we have some bigger fish in here, so it's gonna be interesting. They've done a great job at fending off their tank mates. And actually, yesterday when I came home and discovered this spawn, I had initially discovered that the Synspilum and the Colcos had spawned. So I'm not really into hybrids or anything like that. No knock on those who are, but it's just not my thing. Luckily, they ate the spawn because I had no place for those fry, and probably wouldn't even have made an attempt to keep them. But they've done a great job of fending off their tank mates. It seems like everyone wants to hang out in the right-hand third of this tank for some odd reason, which is where this plate is. So I think they'll be fine. They're pretty tough little cichlids. So we will see. Wait a couple days, see if these guys all hatch, and we'll pick it up then.
The next day.
So we are at just over 48 hours. As you can see from the day before, a couple more of the eggs have molded over. Looks like those guys aren't going to be viable, but most of them, you're starting to see them darken up just a little bit. I would say probably in the next 12 to 24 hours or so, we'll start to see some wigglers. Maybe even sooner, but I would expect it would be at least the morning or this time tomorrow. In the past, it's been roughly 72 hours before we've seen any wigglers, but as you can see, it is a little bit darker than it was yesterday. The eggs, I mean, are a little bit darker, so there is some development happening inside. So I am feeling pretty confident that we're gonna have quite a bit of fry, wigglers here in the next day or so. And they've done an awesome job. They've continued to do an awesome job defending against their tank mates. I just fed them not too long ago, so it's water's a little jacked up right now, but they're doing awesome. Again, everybody likes hanging out in this third of the tank, but what can you do? Check back tomorrow. All right, guys, so here we are, day 3. Eggs are about 72 hours, and as you can see, there is some movement. So some of the eggs have hatched. There's Mom trying to get in between me and the wigglers there, but there are some wigglers. Let me get around here on the side. So as you can see, there is a little bit of movement. I don't have a macro lens, so it's not really going to pick up too much of the small wigglers now, but they are there. You can see the kind of the shimmer of the eggs. So we have had some hatching, and I would suspect that by morning all of these guys will have be fully hatched. And the plate will actually, the base of the flower pot there will actually provide a pretty good refuge for them. The parents have defended against their tank mates incredibly well, and I expect that to continue. And once, I would say probably tomorrow afternoon, I will pull these out and put them in a breeder box so that the filter intake, which is right there, doesn't claim all of these fry as they become free swimming, which is still probably another day or two away. But looking good so far. Looks like a pretty good hatch rate. We're gonna have some fry, kids. All right, everybody, we are at day 5, and you can see here in the corner, the wigglers are all grouped together. And I say all, but what I mean is most, because I've pulled out a lot of them into this hang-on side breeder box. And you can see there a lot of the egg sac is still in place, so this is going to be their initial source of food. Man, how cool is this? Camera phones have come a long way in the last couple of years, but these guys are all so cool to see this, to watch this process. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm going to end this video here with the wigglers, and we'll pick back up with these. Oh, there's a little snail that's made its way in there. I do like to include some Java moss in here. Gives them a source of microorganisms to munch on once they finish with these egg sacs, and get started on live baby brine shrimp, freshly hatched live baby brine shrimp. But super cool, and I'm sorry I'm trying to be as still as I can here, but really awesome to watch this. This is what makes this hobby so much fun for me. I love to breed these fish and raise up the babies. It's just a different way to enjoy the hobby. So I hope you've enjoyed this little series. Maybe we'll do a grow out series and watch these tiny little fry, tiny little wigglers grow up to be like mom and dad. So appreciate you checking out the video. If you've liked it, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.